Nope, I can do what I want.
All right, very cool.
I'm
What do
the
you want to?
boss. I'm the head of the house.
You're
I'm the
the.
king of the castle.
All right, take it easy there, Ralph.
It's time for Rat Salad Review!
Welcome to Red Cell Review. Hey Lou, what's up?
What's going on, Wayne, my man, my main man?
Not much, bro. Not much at all.
Very
Uh,
cool.
yeah, we just did a really cool interview with the Bad Habits, the tribute band for Thin Lizzy,
Yes,
and
yes, bunch of great guys.
yeah, it was awesome. So after we got done doing that, you said, "Hey, let's do some other stuff." So I said, "Okay, let's do it."
Yes, I'm always happy to be chit-chatting with Wayne because God knows that there's a lot of stuff in the metal world that not only needs to be mentioned, but needs to be made fun of.
Yes, it does. And also too, I, one of the things that when I started doing this show, I wanted to do news. I wanted news to be part of it, and album reviews, obviously. And we kind of got out of the news because once COVID hit, no bands were really doing anything. You know, and all the news was just kind of silly, stupid things. But now I think things are starting to let up a little bit more, and some good news is starting to come out now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we found some today.
Definitely. The one piece of news that I saw on blabbermouth.net, I guess I should give them a plug, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Was the 2021 inductees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and apparently the fan voting is going on either now or soon,
Mm-hmm.
and finally eligible for the first time in their careers, although they're in their 41st year as recording artists, so 16 years too late,
Yeah.
is Iron Maiden.
Finally, there's not too many. I think they're going to win this. There is not many good bands on here.
Well, what's the list? I mean, you got Rage Against
Mary
the Machine,
J. Yeah, want me to read it? Or
Mary,
you want to read it?
Mary
Go ahead.
J. Blige,
Yeah.
LL Cool J, and again, being a former Queens, New York, born and bred native, that would be cool to see LL in there. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and granted, not taking anything away from the contributions that any of the artists that are nominated have given to the world of music,
Mhm.
but it should just be the Music Hall of Fame.
It should be. I don't like when they mix the R&B musicians with, the rock, obviously. But I
Well,
understand what their thinking is. But it should just be called the Musician Hall of Fame or
yeah, I
whatever.
mean,
Something.
we're not invalidating the artists or the
Right.
art itself. It's just,
But if you're going to say rock and roll, then stick to rock and roll. You know.
yeah, it's like if you're having the Meteorology Hall of Famer, you're gonna have a seismologist in there.
Right. But although,
Wow, that
so
was
if
so nerdy.
although if it's rock and roll, but Iron Maiden's kind of metal, well, they are metal. Shouldn't it be the Metal Hall of Fame? So I don't know.
Well, they were
I,
doing that for a while. I think Revolver had the Golden Gods,
right.
but again, my only problem with
I never.
award shows,
Yeah.
my biggest problem with award shows is just I feel like it's people in that bubble just kissing each other's asses.
Mm,
The only awards that, these artists should be given is their gold and platinum, and their Hall of Fame is their fandom. Really, I mean, I just
right.
don't understand the purpose of a Hall of Fame of anything. I mean, like Bruce Dickinson said it himself. He's like, it's basically a museum, and if you're putting us in a museum, that makes us archaic.
Yeah.
And
He's right.
I couldn't agree with him more. So,
But, who did you leave off at? Devo, right? Did you say
like,
Devo?
yes, did I say Devo? No, I said LL Cool J, Rage Against the Machine, Mary J. Blige. Hold on, I'll pull the list up.
Devo, Foo Fighters, the Go-Go's,
The Go-Go's, the New York Dolls.
Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Carole King. I have
Wait,
no idea
Carole
who this.
King's not in it?
I guess not.
Wow. Othello Kuti is a
No
South
idea.
African musician who he recorded a lot with Ginger Baker from Cream.
All right. Well,
LL
Todd
Cool J.
Rundgren. Todd Rund. Rundgren.
Todd Rundgren. If you're a fan of Meatloaf Spat Out of Hell, he's the guy who produced it.
Okay, that's why that name looks familiar. And I'm very surprised Tina Turner is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's kind of
that's disgraceful. To me, she is the queen of rock and roll.
Yeah, and
Little Richard's the true king of rock and roll.
That's weird. I would have thought they would have already been in there.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I remember actually doing an episode of my podcast about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and
Yes, you did.
I think I remember saying these key words, which, Wayne, I'd like to repeat if it's okay with you.
Of course. Please go
Thank you
ahead.
very much. Hold on. Me. Fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Thank you very much. Listen, I would never want to join a club that would want me as a member, okay?
Yeah. But, out of this list, I really... Oh, man, I can't really see Iron Maiden losing. Maybe Rage Against the Machine, but I don't see it. I mean last year Judas Priest was against Bon Jovi and somebody else. I can't remember who it was. But Judas Priest lost.
They did.
They did lose.
They did, and it's funny because we just got off the Thin Lizzy episode, and if there's any other band in the hard rock heavy metal realm who contributed more to the dually guitar attack than Thin Lizzy, it's definitely Judas Priest.
All right. Now I don't really know how the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame works, but I would think if Judas Priest was in it last year and they didn't win, wouldn't they get bumped up to this year? But I guess it doesn't work that way.
The nomination makes no sense to me whatsoever. All I know is that a lot of it is music industry types and tycoons and, a select group of people of some importance in the record industry, although I think that's an oxymoron because I think, if anything, the fact that people could do, recording on their own without having to pay a dime to have someone else record it or distribute it, kind of shows the irrelevance of a lot of the music industry that still likes to think that they mean something today, but they really don't mean jack shit.
Right.
And Jan Warner, who is the proprietor, I guess, for lack of a better word, or benefactor of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the publisher of Rolling Stone, I remember for the longest time he tried to keep Rush and Kiss out of it, and Journey. Even went so far as to say, we will never put bands like that in here. Meanwhile, Rush 2013, Kiss 2014, and Journey, I think, fairly recently. Yeah. And, he's eating his own words. I remember I did watch the year that Rush got inducted because, as you know, I'm a Rush fanboy. Yeah. And even though I can't stand the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I was genuinely happy for them. And to see Jan Warner get booed and Rush be cheered and Don Henley, insulting Rush and their fans because of their immaturity or whatever. I just like to say, by the way, fuck you, Don Henley. The Eagles suck. And
why would he think they're immature? What is that?
Well, I mean, think of the music that he writes and think of where he comes from. He hears Rush and he's like, that's not music to him. He thinks it's convoluted, pretentious. I'm just like, wow, Don Henley calling Rush pretentious? That is the pot calling the kettle black.
He wouldn't even know where to start with the first note playing a Rush song. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not the hugest Rush fan. I can see where he's coming from. Rush is a little out there for me, but I like them. They're an awesome band, and what they did, they deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know.
Well,
fuck Don Henley.
I mean, homie, don't play that. But again, it's just you got to think of the type of people who are dying to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's this dinosaur 1970s. My shit don't stink just because I could play an instrument and hold a note type mentality. These are people where if you gave them something else to do with their life, they couldn't because all they know is the freaking druggy lifestyle that they lived, and they can't live their life any other way. Right. So whatever. I mean, let the dinosaurs have their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but the truth is real music fans recognize real talent, and if you're a lifer like we are when it comes to the music that we love and the bands that we love and support, we don't need this kind of validation for them.
No, not at all. I'm just really interested to see if Iron Maiden's going to win this.
That would be funny because I do know that Bruce Dickinson said that he wouldn't show up.
Yeah, I doubt that he's not going to show up.
Meanwhile,
they'll show up.
Deep Purple showed up, and Ian Gillan said, "We don't want Richie Blackmore anywhere near us."
But wasn't Rage Against the Machine in this once before?
I don't think so.
I swear I remember them being picked once before.
No, but I do know that Tom Morello inducted Kiss into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, I guess if they get in, they'll. Well, who even knows if they would have a ceremony? Probably not because of COVID.
Yeah, that's true too. Oh man, when is this thing actually supposed to take place? I don't know. When is the date? Doesn't say a date.
Doomsday.
I can't find a date. Yeah, I don't know when the date is, but I don't know. I will be anticipating this wait, and I will put a vote in for obviously the goes. I mean Iron Maiden. Foo Fighters on here too. I like Foo Fighters, but they don't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yet.
Well, technically, they've been around since '95.
They've been around a long time, but to me, they still seem new.
I think you're the first person that I know that would have said that the Foo Fighters still seem new 25 years later.
They just do. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they've been around that long to me.
Well, this is actually, I think, the first year that they're eligible.
Well, good luck to everybody, but Iron Maiden's win.
I could care less. If I like you, I'll still support you.
If they don't win, I'm burning the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame down.
I'll provide the gasoline. I better be careful what we say. We're 1 month shy of what happened at the Capitol.
Fuck them.
Speaking of which, by the way, did you hear the most recent episode of The Right Opinion? Yes, of course you did.
Of course I did. Yes, I did.
Yes, I do love the last 30 minutes of that episode.
Right? I posted that earlier today. I'm like, just listen from 39 minutes and on.
Yes.
And then he reads that whole article from Time. Was it Time magazine?
It was Time magazine, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to tell it? Because I don't remember word for word, but.
Well, I did take snapshots of it, so if anyone wants it emailed to them, let me know. You can email me at musicislifepodcast@gmail.com, and please donate to my PayPal if you want it. Thank you. If Time won't capitalize off subscriptions, I'll take it.
But yeah, I mean, he reads off some stuff that this ain't a political show, so I don't really like to get into politics.
It's not. No. We're only promoting a fellow Rat Side Review Network show, The Right Opinion, with Harrison Bergeron.
That's all right.
But the thing that's crazy about it, though, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, it reads like some New World Order Illuminati shit, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, it does. And if you don't believe some shit's up, you better wake up. I don't even like saying people are woke or whatever, but
I hate that word.
I do too. But listen to this part of the show. I listened to the whole show really because he even goes through the stuff with the stock market that happened with GameStop and all that. It's just amazing all the shit that's just going on.
Yeah,
and you think Trump's bad, but
look, we're not here to push a political opinion. We're just here to say, hey, you know what? Just listen to something that you may normally not. You may learn something.
Exactly. I'm not on anybody's side, or am I?
Well, I'm proud to call you my friend Wayne. It's all good.
Oh no, I'm on your side, of course. Yes, you're on my show, so.
Welcome to the dark side.
Speaking of dark side,
well, if you're a biohazard, it's Tales from the Hard Side.
Speaking of dark side, I just saw a thing here with Gene Simmons. He takes a look back on the controversial music from the Elder album.
Oh,
do you not like the Elder?
I love the Elder.
I love the Elder as well.
It pisses me off that every member of KISS that was involved, with the exception of Eric Carr, God rest his soul, takes their time out of their schedule when they're asked about it to talk smack about it. Listen, it's not a bad album. It's a great album. If you put it against the other KISS catalog, yes, it's the one that stands out like a sore thumb. But it's still a great album, and it's not a bad KISS album. And, Ace Frehley is the one that repeatedly said that he told Paul and Gene not to release this album, but at the time, Kiss was just a three-man partnership because when Peter Criss, he gave up his 25%, divided it three-way between Paul, Gene, and Ace, them being the original members that signed the deal with Bill Aucoin and Casablanca Records. He was outvoted 2-1. No, this is what we're going to do. Eric Carr was not a partner. He was a paid member. And people need to remember that,
Right.
which is unfortunate because he was my favorite Kiss drummer. I know you hate double bass Kiss, but he was my favorite Kiss drummer. Preference, just my own preference.
Oh, he's
anyway,
he's an awesome drummer. It's, can't deny what he did.
Right. But, Ace hated it. Eric, Paul goes so far as to say that anyone who likes that album needs their head examined. And Gene will, I know, I think he has stated in the past he's blamed it. He blamed it on Bob Ezrin and his cocaine habit at the time.
But yeah, I love The Elder. I mean, it's a cool story. It's something different, and I like when bands do different things. And this is completely different than what Kiss would have ever really done. They made a story. They made a concept album. And a party band, which was pretty much what Kiss was, or still kind of is, this is completely out of left field for them.
It was, but in the early '80s,
I guess it was kind of the thing as well.
Yeah. Well, let's see. In 1981, what did you have that was out? You had High and Dry by Def Leppard. You had Moving Pictures by Rush. You had Point of Entry by Judas Priest. You even had, I think Iron Fist was 80. No, that was 82 by Motorhead. But you had Killers by Iron Maiden. So you had rock bands and metal bands, some new, some reinvigorated by the new sound that they were doing. And you can't blame Kiss for being experimentative with an album like The Elder. Was it a successful experimentation? Absolutely not. It was probably the one album of their catalog that didn't go gold.
Yeah.
And I still don't know if it went gold or not as of today. But, the problem was that I just think that the fan base or the audience that was willing to listen, they just weren't ready for this because it was so different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot to get into. Actually, when I finally bought this album, it was the one. You know what, they remastered the albums?
Yeah, I think that was 97.
Yeah,
it was
something like that.
It was right before I think Psycho Circus came out.
97, yeah. Mm-hmm. So when I bought the first CD I had, the original CD version or whatever, I didn't realize it, but it's in totally different order.
Mm-hmm.
And the 97 version puts it in the regular order.
Yeah, the 97 version was the one that was supposed to be the track listing originally.
Yeah.
But what happened was Casablanca Records said, I wouldn't start out with Fanfare because it's not a strong opening song. So The Oath was probably the strongest song that they had on that album. So they said, why don't we make that the first single? And if you listen to it in the context of The Oath from the original version of that record, yeah, it's confusing. Right. You listen to it in the context of the re-release in 97, where it's Fanfare, Just a Boy, Odyssey, Only You, Under the Rose, Dark Light, moving your way up to The Oath, and from there on out, it does make more sense as a concept album. But yeah, I'm kind of prone to having The Oath as the opening track. I just that's one of my favorite Kiss songs. And,
yeah, mine too. I love that song.
I mean, it's so power metal. I love it.
Yeah, it is. But I now that when I finally did get that remastered version, I like it that way better, the original way, because the story's together.
Correct. You're right. I'm thinking of it in context of the line of the sequencing on the original.
Yeah. But it is cool to have the old start up. I mean, I was always used to that, but finally getting the original version was cool to hear it that way. And it was certified gold in Australia, 25,000 units sold.
Ah, okay.
So,
it's funny because that was the first time that they had actually planned a tour and canceled it, and they actually tried to plan a film around the Elder story. But they canned it.
Yeah.
That would have been cool because I know in the early 80s, sci-fi fantasy, that was a very big genre. It would have been cool to have seen what they could have done.
Yeah.
You know,
One thing I did not like about this lineup is their makeup and their outfits of choice.
you mean when they ditched the platforms
Yes, and then Paul Stanley's got a headband, purple headband. I'm looking
and
at the picture now, and
doesn't he have like a purple pearl necklace?
I can't see that close.
Take
Oh,
that
oh,
as you will.
yes, I see it. Yep.
Take that as you will.
Usually his pearl necklaces are white, but this one's purple. And then Gene Simmons has slicked back hair. It's just weird. They're all glammed out, looking kind of.
Yeah, Eric was I thought Eric and Ace were the coolest looking at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, definitely. They look, somewhat normal.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite Kiss lineup.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the Unmasked tour from Sydney, Australia, I mean, to me, that was a band that was on fire, that was reinvigorated by the new blood. And at the time, it was their longest show, almost 2 hours long. And I still have the VHS. Problem is, I don't have a VHS player of the original unedited concert. And I mean, 2 hours worth of music, everything from the first album up to Unmasked. I mean, wow, like that was a band I wish could have. I mean, it led the charge for Kiss in the 80s, and as much as I love a lot of the Kiss material from the 80s, I am bummed that lineup couldn't have lasted through the 80s.
Yeah.
It would have been great, but wasn't meant to be.
Not at all. But Gene Simmons says it was a time of flux. A lot of bands were trying to figure out what they were, and so were we. Sometimes if you do the same thing forever, you think like that Peggy Lee song, is that all there is? We did try to fool around on some tracks like The Destroyer and Great Expectations. Every once in a while, we would try a little offbeat track kind of thing. I Was Made for Loving You. I love that song too. That was really experimental. And we were not a dance band, but obviously it worked well around the world. We didn't go back to that because we've heard it. And he also says, music is best served hot but varied. If you keep eating the same thing all the time, I think you get bored. Music from the Elder was a chance for us to show we could do other things and felt like we were tied to nothing. But soon thereafter, within an album or two, we got back to business and did Creatures of the Night and all that stuff. Another awesome album.
Yeah, definitely in my top 5 favorite Kiss albums.
Oh, hell yeah.
I could see where Gene was going with that. Like I mentioned, it was a time of flux. They were trying something new. Unfortunately, it didn't work. But for the few that have heard the album, myself included, I love the album. And to me, it's like, I don't know. I don't think the Elder is deserving of the hatred that it gets. It really isn't.
No, I don't think so either. It's a good album. It's got its songs. I mean, there's some, it's different, but it's not a bad album at all.
No, definitely not. I mean, I just think it's funny though that back in 1975, when I think it was Geddy Lee or Alex Lifeson said that they played "Caress of Steel" for Paul Stanley, and he looked at them like, "Huh?" And I'm just, it's funny that 6 years later, Kiss tried the same thing, and the world went, "Huh?"
Yeah.
But one thing though, the song "Only You" was written prior to the Elder, and I know Doro Pesch actually covered that song the original way that Gene had written it, where it was about lusting for somebody, which that's pretty much what Gene writes. He's a musician songwriter with a one-track mind, and we all know where that is.
I wonder is that on that box set that they had?
The Doro version?
No, the original Gene Simmons version.
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to ask Ralph that. He actually
I have it, but I haven't listened to it in years.
Oh, you have the vault?
Yeah.
You paid $2 for that?
Oh, no, not the Vault. I have the other one. The old one that came out. It's the box that's got like 4 or 5 discs.
Oh,
in it. They're all demos and stuff.
The Kiss box. No, that's not on it.
No, I didn't buy the Vault. You insane?
Hey,
well, yeah, you are.
like I said, Ralph bought it. He actually met Gene, and Gene signed it two-fisted till the very end. Gene Simmons for Ralph. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah,
was
he actually interviewed Gene for his like when Gene was signing his stuff, Gene actually gave him like 5-10 minutes to interview him because it was a
Oh,
huge
really?
line. Yeah, it was a huge line of people. He actually said he was very friendly, and I believe that. I mean, Gene.
Gene's cool, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
he gets shit like Lars Ulrich gets shit, and I like Lars too. I think he's cool. He's got he's got a lot of knowledge and shit, and people don't like either one of them, But I think it's silly, and I get why.
yeah.
Gene Simmons is a kind of a full of himself human being, but that's Gene Simmons.
I'm not gonna waste my energy on trying to hate anybody. I mean, I'm a very live and let live guy. Now, if you're Rudolph Schenker, then that's a different story. I can't stand the motherfucker. And I think I told you that story.
Yeah,
But
I remember it a little bit.
well, basically, when I met him, he definitely, yeah, I could see why Michael hates him.
But that's cool. I didn't know Ralph got that signed. But I wonder if he saw Ralph interviewing. Oh no, actually, the fuck puppet interviewing Paul Stanley.
Oh,
And if you have not watched that, please look up Paul Stanley and the fuck puppet. Go to
yeah.
Almost Human 56, and it should be
Oh
on.
my God! By the way, happy birthday to Mr. Ralph Vieira. Well, it's his birthday week at the time we're recording this, but it's whenever.
A month ago from now.
So happy 1 month belated birthday, Ralph Vieira.
That's right. Happy birthday, old man. You didn't hear me say that. But oh, and speaking of autographs, I got an email because last year when the Ozzy album came out, the terrible Ozzy album, Ordinary Man, there was a contest inside there. I won a contest.
Did you now?
I won it, and what I won was an autographed lithograph.
And for the uninitiated, what is a lithograph exactly? Is that like a?
It's basically a poster.
Oh, okay.
It's on cardboard.
Okay, by Ozzy, I'm assuming. Not personalized though, right?
Not personalized, but it's supposedly signed by Ozzy. But then I'm kind of worried about it because I saw other people getting lithographs, and they said that they weren't signed by Ozzy. They were signed by I guess they have a machine that's autographs things as well. Your name.
That doesn't surprise me. I know that. I forgot how long ago was it, but my friend Ben, who lives in Myrtle Beach right now, he's a former NYPD cop from Far Rockaway. He actually went to a Jimmy Page autograph signing because Jimmy Page he had a book of photos from his life with Zeppelin at the time, and he bought me a copy of the book. I think it was for my 31st birthday. Well, anyways, so Jimmy Page wasn't signing them. He had a Zoso stamp, and he stamped everyone's copy, and I'm like, it's not really an autograph.
Wow.
But I could say that I have a Jimmy Page book stamped by Jimmy Page, so at least I could say that.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah. But with this Ozzy thing, I got an email reminding me, because I was supposed to get it last April, I believe. And that's when the virus all happened and everything shut down. And I never heard anything about it since. And then yesterday, I'm just checking my emails, and it popped up, oh, you were the winner for the Ozzy contest or whatever. So I got to get a notary. I have to have signed all these paperworks and things that they gave me, and then give it back to them, and then I'll get my poster, I guess.
Oh, for the love of God. Why make it so complicated?
I guess to know that I'm not part of the contest somehow. I don't know.
I didn't win a contest, but Kramer Guitars actually had a thing where if you signed up to get to be picked to get a free Kramer guitar, you would get a Kramer t-shirt. So I signed up for a t-shirt, forgetting that I signed up, and I just got an email alert from Kramer Guitars, your t-shirt's on the way. Yeah. So that'd be cool, but I think I'd rather have a damn Kramer. I mean, anyways. So
my friend's guitar choice as well. He loves Kramers.
Yeah, I like them. I mean, they're affordable and they feel good. They sound good. I mean, they were the weapon of choice for many players from the 80s, as varied as, well, Eddie Van Halen, Mick Mars, even Reggie Sambora. Say what you will. He is a damn good guitar player. And I'm missing one more. Oh, yeah, Vivian Campbell, when he was in Whitesnake, actually played Kramers. So before we move on to the news, I know we were talking about our physical media, and I actually did get some CDs in the mail.
You did.
Yes, I did. So I got these four right here. I'll read what they are. So the first one is called Never Give In, a tribute to the Bad Brains.
Okay.
Now, if anyone knows me, I love my hardcore as much as I love my heavy metal. And this has some great covers of the Bad Brains from bands like Ignite, VOD, Vision of Disorder, Snapcase, Sepultura's on here, Cave In, Will Haven, Shai Hulud, and some other band. I mean, Entombed as well. I mean, I was a fan of Entombed back in the day. So if you're into hardcore and the Bad Brains and hearing really good covers of it, check this one out. The one song I would skip, the Moby cover of Sailing On. It's very boring. What else did I get? I got the first Macaulay Schenker album, Perfect Timing. This is actually a remastered, re-released version that came out in 2012 on Cherry Road Records, but sounds great. So now I have all three Macaulay Schenker studio albums waiting on the Unplugged album to come in. And I got these both releases from the band Both Worlds. Both Worlds actually is the 1990s project of John Joseph of the Cro-Mags with Pokimo from currently of Agnostic Front. At the time, he was in Leeway on drums. AJ Novello, who was in a bunch of New York hardcore bands on guitar. And it's 90s based alternative metal. I guess if I were to compare it to anyone, maybe Life of Agony. But it's really good stuff, and found them all on Amazon. So, really happy to have found them. So my CD collection is growing. Very happy.
One day you'll catch up to me.
No, that'll never happen. Because even if I did, Anna would probably destroy about 90% of them. So I'd still have less than you.
That's why I had to move them down here, man. They were in my dining room, and when I had my child, I was like, oh. I'm not leaving them here.
No. Or maybe you should have an electric fence around there or something.
Yeah. No, he's cool. He comes down here and he don't touch him. He don't do nothing. Actually, when he comes down into this room, I actually play records for him. So we listen. He loves the Beatles, so I'll play the Beatles records or whatever. So he's into the records.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's
cool. Anna's still listening to Peppa Pig. So
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Jumping up and down in muddy puddles.
Oh my gosh. My kid did that the other day. I'm like, stop!
He was jumping up and down the muddy puddles?
Yes.
Did he wear his boots?
Shoes on. No, he wears his shoes. His boot shoes or whatever you call them. He has Timberlands, so he's jumping in those.
Nice.
But
what else we got in the metal news?
Then I got I just hit my mic, sorry. Better. I got some CDs in the mail too. Actually been getting a lot of stuff from Heavy Metal Museum. I don't know if anybody knows that website. HeavyMetalMuseum.com.
I've heard of them, not too familiar.
Yeah. He's also on Facebook too. You can look him up, Gary Schaefer. He sells most of his stuff on Facebook, and he's also on eBay as well. But if you look that up, he sells a lot of stuff. He's very reasonable, very, very, very nice guy too. So definitely buy his stuff from him. And I got, I don't know if a lot of people know about the band Treat.
Yes, that was the French band that Anthrax covered Antisocial, and at one point they had both Iron Maiden drummers.
Treat?
Oh, I'm thinking of Trust. I'm sorry, never mind.
I'm like, what?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Wait, is Treat a Swedish band that had the song World of Promises?
I don't know if they're from Sweden. Are they from Sweden? Yeah, they might be from Sweden. I just started getting into them, so I don't know that much about them.
I can't believe I confused Treat with Trust.
Yeah, Swedish. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't think that's the same band. But yeah, they're from Sweden.
Okay.
Very cool band. Actually, the latest album that they have, I can't pronounce it because it's very confusing. Tunguska? I might have pronounced that right. But that's a very awesome album. That's actually the album that really got me into them. But I got the first 3 albums of theirs in the mail from Gary Schaefer. And also, what was the other one? Oh, Midnight Spell. Brand new band.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Ralph Vieira is featured on that album as well on one of the songs. I haven't listened to it yet.
Very cool.
But I know he's on there. And I want to try to get the band on the show as well. But I got to listen to the album first. I heard one song because Ralph was playing it on his radio show. And I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. Because he's been promoting it a lot because he's obviously on it.
Mm-hmm.
So he promotes the CD on his Facebook every once in a while. So I figured let me grab it. And it sounded pretty cool to me. So
yeah.
far.
Ralph is really like very knowledgeable and very helpful on his knowledge of bands in the underground. I think he's actually the one that made where I heard of the band Savage Master for the first time.
Okay.
And I actually like them. I think it's an interesting gimmick because basically you have a female lead singer who looks out of Conan the Barbarian, backed by the band The Mentors. But my
Yeah.
God, it's like really good heavy metal. I mean, I'm not knocking it at all. It's great stuff.
Yeah. Oh, well, don't watch our review then.
Oh no.
Yeah, we did. I'm sorry.
Well, hey, tomato, tomato.
Yeah, that's right. That's all that matters, right? Everybody has their own opinions. It's not that bad. It's okay. Just don't sing. Don't make an album and sing in the bathroom.
Okay, the production could be a little bit better, but I mean, look, I like the songs. I'm not gonna lie.
No, yeah, there's some cool stuff.
I mean, there are people who think that the first Maiden album is the best album. Steve Harris hates the production on it. I love it. I think I love the rawness of it.
Me too. Yeah, some bands can pull it off, Alice Cooper. What?
I was gonna say, like, if you're gonna insult the production on it, you may as well hate every black metal band that's out there.
Oh God, no, yeah, yeah. Well, you can't pick on black metal. Everybody knows their first few albums are recorded on like one of those old cassette tapes. Remember those old cassette players you used to buy with like a little speaker and it's just like with a little cassette thing there. And...
Oh yeah, that's how the first Mayhem and Dark Throne albums were recorded.
I don't doubt it. I'm sure they were. I'm
actually a Dark Throne fan, and I say that. Oh, well.
But yeah, we all know those are terrible. No, the Savage Master is way better than that.
What about Mr. Cooper?
Mr. Cooper gets COVID-19 vaccine after previously contracting coronavirus.
Wow. And he lived a life of debauchery.
73 years old. And he survived coronavirus. So
I can't believe he's 73. And he's aged, you can tell, but he hasn't aged as badly as any of the members of the Stones, with the exception of Charlie Watts. I mean, well, he still looks the same, but
yeah.
Wow, 73. When was the last time I saw Alice Cooper? 2012, opening for Maiden, and I mean, consummate showman. I'm glad that he beat Corona. That's
it's
not an easy feat.
No. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say like what type of coronavirus he had. So I just don't see it in here, but it doesn't say. But apparently he had it. He didn't say nothing about it. But yeah, he's getting old, man. He's up there. But I'm glad we didn't lose him because he's got a new album coming out very soon.
Yeah, it's funny because Alice is definitely when I think of shock rock, I guess he's the first person that people think of. Not because he was, controversial in the sense that he had a satanic message, but like his show was just, out of this world. I mean, with the beheadings and with the snakes and with the dancers and all this stuff. He truly was an entertainer without being like Vegas-y cheesy. I don't think we've had any artist since him who's had his longevity or even a fraction of his character. And I say this because I'm sure you've heard of the recent news about Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah.
That's something that when I heard about all these people coming forth, and the one person that he had in his defense was his ex-wife Dita Von Tess, or is it Teese? I forget how it's pronounced. But anyways, not gonna lie, I was a Manson fan in the '90s. I thought Portrait of an American Family was great. He after seeing him in concert in 2003 on Ozfest, I was just like, this is shit. So I pretty much stopped caring about him, or sometimes the things that you discover when you're 14 aren't the same things you end up liking when you're 22.
Right.
Or in my case, 40.
Yeah.
Manson was a point in time. It was a fixed point in time for
Right.
me. But I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon of bad mouthing him because I don't know him personally, and also I feel as much as a lot of the complaints against him are coming forth. And I say this for anybody: they deserve their day in court.
Mm. Well, I'm not surprised.
I heard he was a weirdo.
I always
But-
thought he was the kid from
The Wonder
the hell-
Years.
Wonder Years, yeah.
No, he's not. Josh.
That was always the rumor. That was always the rumor, though. And then King Diamond was always the little boy from the Munsters, Eddie. That was another rumor.
That I can imagine, but I didn't know that Butch Patrick moved to Denmark.
I know that was the funny thing when I found out King Diamond was from Denmark.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't work.
Well, now he lives in Texas. And
Yes, that's true.
oh, by the way, his wife is actually on a the lead singer of Trivia, Matt Heafy. He actually released an acoustic EP. There's a sea shanty that has become a very popular song as of late, sung by an Irishman a cappella, a song called "The Wellerman," and he released his own cover of it, Matt Heafy. And there's 3 versions of it. I think there's it's acoustic, a cappella, and one other version I forget. And King's wife, Livia, is actually the backup female vocalist on the song with him. So I'm actually looking forward to hearing that. My daughter loves the song. Every time she hears it, she goes, "Pirate, pirate."
There's a new female rock band coming out called
Plush.
Yes, obviously you've heard of this. Do you know the girl who's the front woman?
Yes, Mariah Formica, I think her name is, and she is incredible.
She is. I've seen a lot of her videos on Facebook, and
Yes.
mostly it's the heart song. I don't know. No.
Alone? What
No.
about Love, Magic Man, and Those Who Kill? I can keep going.
Maybe it's Magic Man.
Or wait a minute, if it's Heart.
No, it's the one. The intros.
Oh, Barracuda.
Barracuda. Thank you. Not a big Heart fan, so I can't remember half the songs.
That's
but
okay.
that song has been on Facebook on the videos, and it's come up a lot. And you would swear it was Heart singing that song.
I recommend you check out these 2 videos of her. One, she did a vocal cover of Steel Hearts, I'll Never Let You Go, Angel Eyes. Nailed it. And she can play the guitar as well.
Check out the guitar.
Check out her cover of Unchained from Van Halen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Funny enough, when I had Twitter, I retweeted her cover of Unchained. I said, "This chick rocks." And she gave me a like.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
And then I deleted my Twitter. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing the Plush band. That's I think it should be good. You know, I'm going to approach it with an open mind, definitely.
Yeah. Actually, the song is called Hate. I guess there's a single out right now.
Mm-hmm.
So go to YouTube and check that out. But yeah, she is definitely. I mean, there's not too many younger bands I would want to see. I mean, I like Greta Van Fleet. They're in their 20s, you know, and they played like Zeppelin-ish type music. And seeing what Maria how do you pronounce her name? Formica?
I think it's pronounced Mariah Formica or I don't
Something
know.
like that. But seeing her perform this,
If I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, I'm so sorry.
yeah. But seeing the stuff that I've seen of her, I mean, she's awesome. She's gonna be if this song is good, I have to listen to this. I'm really interested to hear what this sounds like.
I heard a 30-second blip of it. It was pretty catchy.
Yeah, all right. I hope so because
Yeah.
she's awesome. She's awesome. She's got an awesome voice, and you know, I hope she does very well with the band.
So do I. And don't let the fact that she was on The Voice discredit her. She is very talented.
Oh, I didn't know she was on The Voice.
Yeah, I don't care for that show, but
I don't either. I hate
you
those
know,
shows.
I'm not going to deny talent when I hear it. So,
Yeah. No, then
She's
she
got it.
definitely has talent. So
Yes, all the best to Mariah Formica. And again, I'm sorry for pronouncing your name wrong.
Yeah.
And her new band, Plush.
yes, please put out a good album because we need some good music.
Yes, and if you want to be interviewed on Ratside Review, let us know.
Let us know. I will. I'll find out. I'll see if I can get a hold of her. Anything else?
Was there one other piece of news, I guess, to mention? Hold on.
I'm looking. There's a thing here with Ozzy. Holy shit, he looks old. He hasn't dyed his hair in this picture, so he's got gray hair, and it's weird seeing him with gray hair.
Yeah, it is quite odd. Uh, and even though I don't care for Sharon Osbourne, and I voiced my opinion on that, and I would say that a lot of the negative things in Ozzy's career that have happened against others that have tried to help him as bandmates is not because of him, because of Sharon. I'll definitely put Sharon at the forefront of that. I love Ozzy, I mean, his stuff with Sabbath, I mean, that's the stuff that I grew up on. I guess that's all for the news, really. But I am looking. I was just saying.
Oh, sorry. You're looking for what?
Well, I just want to say I'm looking forward to the new Liquid Tension Experiment album. That's right. That's right. Portnoy's back with Petrucci, so that'll be a good listen. But I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Wayne?
I was into them. I like the first album, but then I have to have music with vocals. I can't just listen to music.
Really? You're not a fan of instrumentals?
Not a fan of really instrumentals. See, I mean, I like it on an album, I like a song here or there, but a whole album, no.
Sometimes I prefer instrumentals to albums with vocals, I'm not going to lie.
Well, if James LaBrie's singing all the songs, then maybe I will like the instrumentals better.
Ooh, why does he get all the hate that he does?
Because he's lost his voice. I was a huge Dream Theater fan, and it's just not the same.
I remember. When do you think he lost it? Some people say that he lost it with the Falling Into Infinity album.
Yeah, it's probably around then.
Yeah, because, I mean...
he did have cancer, so I understand. But
that I did not know.
Yeah, he did have cancer. I don't remember what kind of cancer, but I know he had cancer. And actually, that's why he grows the goatee.
Because of scarring, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. I could be totally wrong. I should look up this information before I start saying it.
I know that I know that Scenes from a Memory is their breakout album, but right. I mean, for me, I'll always go to Images and Words. That's just my favorite.
Images and Words is the best album ever. But yeah, I mean, they got some good albums. What was the last one with Mike Portnoy is probably my second favorite album.
Mm-hmm.
But the one they did before that, I can't remember the name of it, but it was terrible. But his voice is just... I wish he would just stop doing the screaming stuff, because that's what's really... It bothers me, because I don't know, it just doesn't sound like he used to. It's just not the same anymore. And he can't keep that up. When he gets older and older, he's not going to be able to keep that up. So,
I will say this, their one single, Looking Glass, even though that was... very reminiscent of Limelight from Rush. I would say that's probably my most recently favorite vocal performance of him since the Awake album. But, I do love Dream Theater. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't know. Images and Words for me, that was such a benchmark album.
Oh, yeah. God, it was always on the radio. Pull Me Under.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. But the last bit of news before we get out of here. Chris Jericho.
Okay.
We're both wrestling fans here.
If you think for 1 second that Chris Jericho would have been a perfect substitute for Brian Johnson in AC/DC, read my lips. You're a fucking idiot.
He says he could have pulled it off.
Yeah, he could have pulled something else off. Thank you very much.
And he says that's kind of his wheelhouse.
What wheelhouse?
What wheelhouse?
Did people forget that the first two Fozzy albums were pretty much cover albums?
Yeah. Yes, they were.
I mean, like, what wheelhouse? I mean,
go ahead.
I love Rich Ward. I think he's a great guitar player. I love Stuck Mojo.
Yeah.
But, dude, you could do so much better.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I actually saw Fozzy. I think it was for the first or second album. Maybe the second album. I saw them. They're cool. You know what? I don't have a problem with Fozzy, and I don't have a problem with his voice. I like his voice.
I
It's
don't either,
it
but
sounds like Chris Jericho, but a
yeah,
lot of people give him shit, but it doesn't bother me.
I mean, look, I love Chris Jericho too. I mean, as a wrestler, especially as a heel, in the late 90s when he was doing his Never Ever Again, I mean, like, he was definitely channeling his inner Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, yeah, his voice is decent for what he does. Sebastian Bach accused him of lip syncing, which I don't.
It's
I don't
actually
know if
been proven.
it has, because I think
there's
he still
videos
denies
on
it.
there's videos on YouTube.
Okay, so he's a damn.
Yeah, so
Not,
there's
not
proof.
not doing much to help your argument, are you, Chris?
No.
But I mean, just first of all, Brian Johnson has such a distinctive voice, and his voice has such distinctive character.
Yeah.
You need to have like a special kind of voice to be able to sing those songs for like 2.5 hours a night.
Yeah.
Don did it. Brian did it. Axel does it with GNR, and he did it with AC/DC.
Yeah.
The only other guy that probably could have done it, maybe Angry Anderson of Rose Tattoo, or the singer of the band Heaven. I forgot his name. He passed away. Another Australian act. Maybe
Obviously, he could have done it then.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah.
But rest in peace. I'm sorry I forgot your name. And maybe Mark Storace of Crocus, who at one point was considered, to be a candidate for the lead singer spot in AC/DC before Brian.
Yeah.
But Jericho, no way. No way.
He does not sound anything. He doesn't even sound like Bon Scott. He doesn't sound like Brian Johnson. It just would not work.
No.
Not at all.
No, if you change an element of AC/DC sound, it's not AC/DC.
No.
I think Axel was the best candidate to replace Brian for the remainder of the tour.
Yeah. I do too, and a lot of people gave him shit too. And I want my ticket money back and all this bullshit. That would have been awesome. I would have loved to see that show.
Yeah,
I would have had no problem with Axl Rose doing it. And watching the videos he did on YouTube, he was awesome. I think he served that whole tour justice. He needed to be there, to because what happened with Brian Johnson, that needed to happen. So it was cool.
I call Axl Rose the MVP of 2016 because he reunited with Duff and Slash for GNR, and he kept AC/DC going.
Yeah.
And no one could take that away from him. Now, as far as his battle with Sebastian Bach is concerned, him and Chris Jericho and Sebastian, I would just like to say nobody cares. So stop with the clickbait news on Blabbermouth. Stop with the stupid tweets. It makes me sick that people hide behind a freaking iPhone or a Droid so they could tweet out, "Oh, I'm a tough guy." Yeah, you're a Twitter tough guy. You're a Twitterati. You're a twat-arati. So, like, really, just stop it. Grow the fuck up. Really, please. It's sickening.
It's terrible. But you know what, Lou? I think I will let this show air probably tomorrow. Because I want to keep this, since this is fresh news, I got to get it out there. So I'm not going to keep it behind.
Not a problem.
All right. So this is going to be a new episode in between everything else.
All right. Well, hey, let's get the content out there. We got 500 subscribers. Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Let's get your subscribers up too. And where can people go to do that?
You can find me exclusively on the Rat Side Review Network. You can also find me at the Music is Live podcast, available on all available podcast streaming platforms.
You want to start that over?
No, I'm good. And you could also find me on YouTube at Music is Live podcast. And again, as always, Wayne, thank you for having me on board. You awesome grand muckety muck of Ratsaw Review.
Damn it. I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah, you love it.
Only a little bit.
I forgot. You're the high muckety muck, and Greg is the grand poobah. And where's Nate?
What would Nate be?
Oh, where has our little Nate gone? Oh, where?
You know, a white dog shit? You know, when the dog shit sits on the ground for like a long time, it starts turning white.
Yeah.
That's Nate.
Oh.
Sorry, Nate.
Oh, my God. I'm not talking shit about you, Nate. That's all. That's all.
You
Wayne.
told me to say that before we started the show.
I did not. I
did
paid you
too.
to not say it.
You did too. RatSaladReview.com. Buy a t-shirt. Check out all the shows. And subscribe. We want more subscribers to our channel. And start watching all the shows. Go back. Watch the old shows. Watch the new shows. Watch the shows in between. Watch other people's shows.
If you have a show and you want to be on Rat Salad Review Network, contact Wayne.
No, I don't want to. I don't care about anybody else's shows.
Okay, never mind. Go fuck yourselves.
No, if you want to, please, if you do want to promote your show on my show, please come on my show. That's cool. Cool idea. Great idea. Thanks for thinking of it.
No
and if you
problem.
want to do that on Lou shows too, go on Lou shows. Contact Lou. He's all over Facebook.
Yeah. Haven't been lately. I'm trying to build content for my for my YouTube page, but it's not as easy as you think.
Believe me, it's not. It's a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please go do all that subscribing and iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all that stuff, and the Hami Media Group as well. Please subscribe to that because our show is on there as well, and I'll stick this show on there too because it is Rat Salad Review.
That's right.
That's right. So we will see you guys next time.
Cheers.
Adios. Bye.
What?